y'all not even trying to help us find preceptors, then y'all want to make it difficult when we do find preceptors. Like, make it make sense. Like, Hey guys, it's Noreen. Thank you for making it to my channel. So I just want to talk about like why some people don't like Walden students, or what's this stuff going on about diploma mill degrees and things like that. I didn't even know what a diploma mill was, okay? I had to look it up and see what it is. And it's like, says something about like getting degrees illegally. I guess some people feel like since Walden is like a self-learning thing, that it's a diploma mill. I really didn't expect nothing else, because when I went to nursing school, I still had to teach myself like everything. Yeah, we went to class and stuff like that, but I still had to teach myself everything. So I kind of feel like it's gonna be the same way for master's program, and that is kind of what it is. For me, it works for me. If people want like to have their hand held and have like instructors and other instructors like in person, things like that, I would definitely say they can go do that. But I have heard people say like, oh, preceptors don't like taking Walden students. So two things about this. I've heard that they don't like taking Walden students, one, because they're limited. Like Walden only lets you take like 3 students, and then they have to have like separate schedules, so they don't want to deal with that. Another thing is, I've also heard that Walden does a lot of paperwork. Like I've heard preceptors saying like, oh, I don't want to take Walden students because it's too much paperwork. So that's what I've heard. I know there's rumors saying that people don't like taking Walden students because they don't know nothing or whatever, things like that. And I've heard of those rumors, but I've also heard of rumors that people don't mind taking Walden students and they haven't had any issues. The other thing is too, I know of people who went to Walden for Psych NP who are practicing as psychiatric nurse practitioners with no issue. So I don't really know what's going on with that whole he said, she said thing, but I just think that it's what you make it. Like, if you want to do the program and not put your all into it, you're going to look crazy when you go to clinical. So obviously you got to put in the work and know your stuff. Like, and so that's the other thing too, I will say, when it comes to clinical, your clinical instructor is not your instructor. I mean, like, your clinical preceptor is not your instructor. You need to go into clinical knowing your things. You need to know your bipolar disorder 1, 2, your major depression. You need to know your schizo. You need to know all that, your DSM-5, all that good stuff you have to know. You need to know your medication, things like that. Like, I'm not saying you need to know like the back of your hand, like you're about to take boards, but you need to have like a very strong foundation. So I would definitely say that is very important. The other thing is too is that I know like those Reddit resources, the Reddit board, those people are like really mean. They really be dragging like Walden students and diploma mill, stuff like that. So if you're like looking for any information, I would not go there. I would definitely say go on Facebook. Facebook has a page that's pretty helpful. And then also too, what I would also recommend is if you can like make a group chat, like a WhatsApp or something like that with the people in your class, I think that would be good, just so that you guys can all help each other out. That's definitely super helpful. But I just definitely want to say like, you don't want to go to clinical not knowing your stuff, because you're going there to like apply what you've already learned. And like with the program, like, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just kind of used to the self-learning thing, because I also went to school, I went to Puerto Rican school, and the lecture was in Spanish, but the notes and the test was in English. So I'm like super familiar with kind of like that stuff. But yeah, that's just me. So I just want to definitely say that is that when you guys do start clinical, just make sure you know your stuff. Like, I would just say like get a book to study on your own, just so that you know your stuff. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we do have to sit for boards, and you do have to know your stuff for boards. And then your preceptor is not there to teach you. They're just there to show you how it goes down. And then usually by halfway through that first semester, you should be comfortable like doing your own assessment on a patient. Of course, you will like have your own routine and know like what you want to do and how to go about like questioning them and things like that. So then that's the other thing too. You have to learn how to get comfortable asking your patient questions and things like that. So that's just something I definitely want to say. I also want to talk about for Walden's program, that castlebranch thing. It is like insane. Like, it's all these checkoffs that you have to do in order for you to do clinical. You have to have everything checked off in your castlebranch before you can be accepted for your clinical. And if something's gonna expire, like your flu vaccine, you have to make sure it's updated or they're not gonna let you do your clinical. So it's basically like when you're doing a travel nursing assignment, you have to make sure you have all your vaccines and things like that. So yeah, you have to get your vaccines. You have to get like, I can basically read to you. You have to get a background check done, your drug test. Then you have all these clinical requirements like the MMR, varicella, Hep B, TB, Tdap. You need to have your CPR card. You need to have health insurance. You have to have your flu shot. You have to get a physical. You have to have a liability insurance, and you have to be very particular with that. There's a company called Now, N-O-W. That's who I use. They're pretty cheap, but you have to make sure like it's the exact amount. They want you to have like $1 million coverage. You have to make sure you get that. You have to show proof of your citizenship. You have to show your OSHA and HIPAA certification. So for me, what I did was my hospital has like those health streams, you know, those modules you do. So I basically just used those modules. I went on there and looked up the OSHA and the HIPAA, and I used that. And then that certificate is good enough for this. And then you also have to have your COVID-19 vaccine. I think to get the castlebranch account was like $100-something or something like that. So definitely be mindful of that. And then like they're super tedious, like it's super picky. Everything has to be like to the T, everything. So I definitely say make sure you get that taken care of. Make sure you're aware of that when you do start clinicals, because I don't think everybody knows that you have to do that. The other thing I want to talk about is so I just talked about that. So I don't know. So Walden, they be playing. Like I've heard. So my preceptor told me about a student that so she had a preceptor, they denied it. She wrote a letter to the dean, and so they let her get another preceptor last minute, and that's how she ended up with my preceptor. Now it's another semester, and they denied her preceptor, and they're basically telling her she's gonna have to wait, so she's pretty much gonna fall behind, and she's trying to like appeal it and, you know, be able to find a preceptor in time, but they're like really giving her a hard time. And I'm just like, oh my God, why is my camera dying? Yeah, so I don't understand what Walden has going on, but like, it's ridiculous. And then I even feel like their process as far as the preceptor thing is a little ridiculous too. It's like, you know, I turned it in, I'm waiting weeks. You're telling me about 2 weeks before my semester starts, I'm gonna know whether or not my preceptor is approved. I think that's ridiculous, especially like you're not even helping us find a preceptor. Like it's just a little ridiculous. But I'm just saying, like, I don't have time to be playing with Walden. If they try me like that, I'm like gonna try to transfer or something. Like I'm not playing with them, because that's just absolutely ridiculous. Like y'all not even trying to help us find preceptors, and y'all want to make it difficult when we do find preceptors. Like make it make sense. Like I don't like that. Like I don't know. But anyways, so just make sure you guys find your preceptors in advance. Try to find some that are affiliated with Walden already. I would definitely try to, if you want to do intake, if you want to go do it with your hospital, I think if your hospital has like behavioral health, that'll be an easier way to go about it, and it might be free. So yeah, that's my recommendation. And then another thing too, I know some people ask, like, do you recommend Walden, or what school should I go to? I would say go to whatever school fits your needs, whatever you think fits you best. If you want a school that helps you find a preceptor, I would say go with a school that helps you find a preceptor. Walden is definitely not that school, so you need to be a little, you know, I forgot what the word is, but just a little cautious about that, and just be very like on top of it, be aggressive, make sure you're ready to go find your preceptor like as soon as you start your program. And then I saw there's like another site, kind of like NP Hub. So I use NP Hub to find my first preceptor. It costs $3K. There are other programs out there, Clinical Match Me, Preceptor League, Preceptor Point. There's some that you can find for $2K. Also too, I would say word of mouth is really good. If you can find a preceptor that takes Walden students from a friend, I would definitely recommend that. Usually they're a little bit cheaper, or I feel like most preceptors cost about $12.50 an hour. So like if you need 160 hours, that'll be $2,000, which is, I mean, that's pretty decent. It's not ideal, but it's decent. So I would definitely say word of mouth, find you a preceptor that'll work with you, that'll fit your needs, fit your lifestyle, because some of them are very nice. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys subscribe and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching.